I have owned, rented, borrowed, some with permission, square body trucks and SUVs my whole life. I've worked in, on, about, and around them since even before I had a driver's license. So if you are interested in collecting, investing, buying and selling, whatever, the square body truck or SUV, you've come to the right place, because today I'm going to give you my list based on my experience of what I believe on the market and my research are the 10 most popular, desirable GM, Chevrolet, GMC square body trucks and SUVs on the market today. Welcome to American Outdoors. Now, beginning with number 10 on this list is the 1973 to 1980 K10 Stepside pickup truck, the round eye. Now, the Stepside is on this list for really one main reason. That narrow bed and the exposed rear fenders give the truck a throwback look to generations of bygone Chevy trucks of a different era. It gives the truck a completely different personality when you sit it next to a short or a long bed fleet side in a parking lot. And the round eye makes a difference too, because that's what people picture when they think of Stepside. And that lines up with a lot of the other trucks that you're going to find on this list in a short minute. Now, that narrow box in the back is not the most practical bed on the list, and it never was. But a clean, restored, round eye Stepside turns heads in a lot of ways that a fleet side just doesn't, even if it's not a truck that most people would drive every day. Oh, and by the way, the basic MSRP on a moderately optioned out Stepside for 1973 was about $3,500. Number 9 on my list is the Chevy Suburban. Now, this is a model that a lot of Chevy truck owners forget to discuss when they're talking about square bodies, and that's a big mistake. This was a full-size truck chassis wearing a body built to carry up to 9 people. And besides those 9 passengers, everything they brought with them. 3 rows, 4-wheel drive if you wanted it, and a big block engine. And the capacity to tow just about anything you wanted, RVs, trailers, boats. Now, Suburbans were bought to be used, so there's not a lot of prime examples today, and to be honest, the popularity for those has just now been coming up. They are a rising star among the square body platform. In 1975, you could buy a Chevrolet Suburban for about $4,700. That translates into today's money of around $32,000. Now, by 1985, that price had spiked, and it was more around $11,500 to get a decently equipped SUV. And something that I found interesting, I couldn't verify the information specifically for each model year's production. But what information I have been able to confirm is that from 1973 to 1987, there were almost 10 million square bodies manufactured. That includes the SUVs, Suburbans, Blazers, 4-wheel drives, C10s, the whole works. That's a whole lot of trucks, folks. Number 8 on my list is the 1-ton dually, C30, K30. In my opinion, those old dualies will do everything that I need them to do that a brand new 1-ton Silverado can do for a lot less the cost. Now, when most people think about going out cruising on a Friday night, they don't picture themselves in a 1-ton dually. Honestly, those trucks were made to work. That was the truck you bought when you finally stopped pretending that your half-ton could handle everything. Big block power, Dana 70 rear axle. Also, 1973 was the first year that Chevrolet came out with the crew cab, where you could buy a truck with an actual back seat. Now, in 1973, a base C30 was about $5,000. By 1987, that price had climbed to almost $16,000. Now, because those trucks were bought to work, there aren't a whole lot of pristine examples out there today, but there are a whole lot of fixer-uppers that still have the potential and the willingness to get back on the road and do a job. Number 7 on my list is the K10 long bed. Now, the K10 is a little lower on this list because it loses out to its short bed sibling to this generation. Younger folks prefer the short bed's look and its stance. I have always liked a long bed. I've always enjoyed being able to load it up with whether it's 4x8 sheets of paneling or drywall or lumber and still shut the tailgate wherever I'm going. So you get everything that makes a Chevy truck desirable. The square body look, the 4-wheel drive, the 350 engine, all the creature comforts, and the longer bed that makes it more useful as a work truck. For someone who's looking for a long bed, these can still be bought at an affordable price. And a few bits of trivia you may not know about the square body trucks. In 1978 is when you could get the optional 350 Olds diesel engine, and in 1976 is when they replaced the ammeter gauge with the volt gauge. Number 6 is the 3/4 ton C and K20. Now while these are respected by most everybody, they're not chased as hard as the short bed fleet sides. 8 lug wheels, heavier brakes, heavier chassis, larger towing capacity that goes beyond what the K10 was built for. This was the truck that the serious guy pointed to when he wanted something that would work hard for him without having to step all the way up to a 1 ton. A well-kept K20 probably isn't the flashiest truck on this list, but it is one of the most well-respected. A well-maintained GM truck can still be picked up for an affordable price compared to many of the other examples on my list. Hitting the midpoint at number 5 is something that's the same yet different, and that's the 1981 to 1987 K10s, the Square Eye. The Square Eye is the same basic recipe with a different front end. Also, it has more conveniences, more options, and more luxuries than the earlier models carried. And it's also worth mentioning that between the GMC and Chevrolet lines, GMC was known as a K15. Their 3/4 tons were the K2500, and the 1 tons were the K3500s. They also had lines known as the Sierra Classic, the High Sierra, Sierra Grande, versus the Bonanza, the Cheyenne, and later the Chevrolet Silverado. Decent working short beds are still affordable, and as you'll find with the 80s era of these short beds, that conveniences and luxuries did become more common, like air conditioning, AM/FM radios, power windows, tilt wheels, cloth interiors. By the 1980s, the short bed K10 Chevy and GMC trucks had become pretty much a part of the mainstream, and they were no longer looked as a specialty truck or an oddity as they were back in the 1960s. Running up to number 4 on this list is the very common and popular C10 short bed, all year, 73 to 87. They made a ton of these trucks back in the day, and that's why they're so popular and they're still common today. And one of the reasons why so many people prefer the C10 short beds over the K10s is the lack of complexity when it comes to transfer cases and 4-wheel drive chassis. And if you have neither the budget nor the desire to restore a 4-wheel drive truck, having a C10 allows you to focus that money in different areas. C10s are easily customizable, whether you're lowering them or chopping them, or if you walked into a GM dealership in 1973 and just wanted a basic out-the-door C10 Chevy truck, they'd sell it to you for about $3,400. By 1987, that price had risen to about $10,000. We're getting on the home stretch now and getting towards the top of the list, and at number 3 is the 1973 to 1980 K10 short bed. Now you might think I'm splitting hairs here now with long beds, short beds, round eyes, and square eyes, early models, late models, but I'm really not. There is a strong following for all of these categories and subcategories of Chevy trucks. People out there have a specific type of truck in mind, and there's still so many of them out there on the roads, in the barns, and the hedgerows, they can pretty much get what they're looking for. This might be the truck that most people picture in their mind when you say square body Chevy. 4-wheel drive, small block V8, short bed, sitting up on that taller suspension with those round eyes leading the way. The early generation K10 short bed is arguably the truck that turned this whole platform from a working man's truck into a collector vehicle. A 73 model stickered at about $4,600, moderately optioned, which translates into, adjusted for inflation, meaning today's dollars, between $28,000 and $30,000, brand new. Whittling this down to number 2, we've almost reached a point where it's a process of elimination. And my choice here was the 1976 to 1980 K5 Blazer. And this was known as the half cab version. 2 doors, 4-wheel drive, and that unmistakable square body look. Now while the K5 Blazers are very popular and the price reflects that, you can still find some of the GMC versions for a little less money. There weren't as many made, but that doesn't mean they're any less of a truck. Now in 1980, a model like that would cost around $10,000. Most of the sharp price increases that occurred between the mid to late 70s up through the late 80s when this platform ended were due to emissions, inflation, and increased manufacturing costs. By 1987, a moderately optioned K5 was around $14,000. Now production numbers back up how popular this model was back in the late 70s. In 1979 alone, I believe 91,000 K5 Blazers were manufactured. That year was the peak production for the entire era. But demand for that round eye Blazer look has stayed hot enough that more available doesn't mean cheaper. Now, number one on my list, which I'm sure a lot of you out there had already known probably before the video started, is the 1973 to 75 K5 Blazer. For exactly 3 years, the K5 Blazer had a fully removable top, not just the section that went over the back seat. 1976 killed that feature for good, and that was partly due to water leaks, chassis flex, but that 3-year window of Chevy Blazer is the most talked about, most specifically chased configuration in the entire hobby, and it's not even close. Now, production in 1973 was really limited. 44,841 units were produced in 1973, 56,798 in 1974, and 50,548 Blazers were made in 1975. Combine that with the strongest other trucks on this list, and the almost cult-like following of the K5 Blazer has caused prices to skyrocket, and a market that's been climbing faster than almost any other classic SUV out there today. This is the one most every square body owner would say is the most desirable if they had the money, if they had the opportunity, and if they found one that was available. This is the truck that most every square body guy and gal would choose if you told them to pick the one configuration of the square body platform that they could have among all others. It would be the 73 to 1975 K5 Blazer. MSRP on one of those was about $4,500. If you've got your own list of your favorite square bodies, post them in the comments below. I try to read everything and I try to reply to as much as I can. And if you don't agree with my list, well, feel free to pick out some more of my videos until you find something you do like. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. From American Outdoors, thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.